Hey, what's going on, guys? The Horror Man back with the next review of the Terror in the Aisles challenge. This time, Jason and I watched The Howling. A secret society exists and is living among all of us. The Howling is a 1981 horror film directed by Joe Dante, and it's featured in Terror in the Aisles. It's funny to me that this movie was released the same year as An American Werewolf in London, since they obviously have a lot in common. They also happen to be two of the most beloved werewolf films ever made. They're sort of part of the great werewolf movie debate. Which is better, An American Werewolf in London or The Howling? We've already reviewed An American Werewolf in London during this challenge, and now it's The Howling's turn. You can let me know which you prefer in the comment section below. And you'll find out which Jason and I prefer when we rank all of these movies after we're done reviewing them. Dee Wallace plays television newswoman Karen White. After a near-deadly encounter with a serial killer known as Eddie the Mangler, Karen is experiencing trauma from the event. She's experiencing terrible nightmares and even memory loss. She is unable to go on air and do her job without having a mental breakdown. Her therapist, Dr. George Wagner, suggests she spend some time at The Colony, his isolated mountain resort. Dr. Wagner sends his special patients to the remote location. He believes some time at the colony will benefit Karen. And so, Karen heads there with her husband, Bill. The other patients at the colony are very unique. They also happen to share something very unique. Meanwhile, Karen's friends, Terry and Chris, investigate Eddie the Mangler. There is more to him than just the average serial killer, they believe. They even consult Dick Miller's character, and he just pops up in everything, doesn't he? In this, he runs a novelty shop and bookstore. Terry and Chris begin researching their theory on werewolves. While at the colony, Karen begins hearing strange howling at night. Will Terry and Chris find that werewolves actually exist? Is Karen just a part of some complex conspiracy? And who or what is responsible for the howling? In actuality, you've probably seen The Howling, so I don't know why I'm trying to be so secretive. It's just my style, I guess. I have fun trying to find words to not spoil movies. Just like I said in my review for An American Werewolf in London, I've never been very high on The Howling. Maybe I was just never a huge fan of werewolf films. Watching it this time, though, I really enjoyed it. When I think of The Howling, I always think of that scene in Scream in the video store. Randy is working and that girl goes up to him and asks, "What's that werewolf movie with E.T.'s mom?" She was referring to, of course, Dee Wallace. An American Werewolf in London gets a lot of praise for its transformation scene, but I don't hear much about the transformation scene in The Howling, and that's a shame. It might be just as good. I'm sure some could argue it might even be better. I'm not necessarily saying that, but I bet others could argue that. I love that Robert Picardo played Eddie. If you don't know, Robert Picardo also played Coach Cutlip in The Wonder Years. It's so cool seeing him as Eddie the Mangler in The Howling. He's awesome in the role, too. He truly doesn't get enough credit, in my opinion. It's also fun seeing Dennis Dugan in this movie. He appears in just about every Adam Sandler movie and even directed a few of them, including Happy Gilmore and Big Daddy. I love the look of the colony. The kills are bloody and brutal. We do get some full frontal gratuitous nudity. Fun fact about that, the late Elizabeth Brooks, the actress who gets naked in the scene, was told that her nudity would be covered by smoke. She had no problem getting naked in front of the cast and crew, but wasn't expecting the whole world to see her fully nude. Well, we get a clear shot of everything. The ending of The Howling is truly memorable as well. Ultimately, The Howling certainly is a worthy contender to go up against An American Werewolf in London in the Great Werewolf Debate. Again, be sure to tell me which you prefer in the comments. And my relatable recommendation is Howling 6, The Freaks. The Howling turned out to be a fairly long-running franchise. Unfortunately, the sequels just do not live up to the original. I mean, they are nowhere near as good. But I do really like Howling 6, The Freaks. It's the carnival setting. What can I say? This is a fun sequel. Regardless of how good or how bad they are, I recommend checking out the entire series, because why not? We're horror fans, right? But if you can only see one of them, then obviously watch The Howling. Have you seen it? If so, what do you think of it? Comment below and let me know. And please be sure to check out Jason's review. Another review exists, and it's coming soon in The Terror in the Aisles Challenge. Until then, thanks for watching, guys. Hit that thumbs up and be kind, subscribe.